Yeah, Add-2. You know my name's Add-2. You know my name, bitch.
But you just put out a mixtape, Better Days, correct?
Yes. Just put it out on, it was last Saturday, so yeah, it's been getting around.
I was just gonna say, and how's that been feeling?
It's been great. Like, to be dead honest, it's been great, because it was actually a little overwhelming at first. At first we was like, man, I'm not sure if it's gonna match what we tried to do with the last one. And the last one had got to so many different places that it was a little intimidating to kind of recreate that. And
right, and follow up and top.
Yeah.
Do you, when you go into the studio for new projects, do you feel like you are like, okay, I have to top this, or do you go in thinking like, all right, how can I bring somebody something totally new?
Different. It's a mixture of both. Like, I would be lying to you if I told you that I did not think about it beforehand. And before it started, I was like, oh man, how am I going to do what we did with Luxury that was on MTV? Like, how are we going to do anything close to that?
Right.
And then I was like, you know what? You can't stay in the same place. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not meant to make the same song twice. So just keep pushing, and whatever happens, as long as it's good, people will accept you for who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if they say, oh, it's not the same as this song, then that means they weren't supposed to be fans in the first place.
Right.
So,
you can't like me for one song.
Yeah, you know, like they were just meant to like that one song,
right,
and you gotta let them go. So, you know, I just had, once I got that in mind, everything else just flows so much easier, and everybody's been saying this is like our best work.
How would you say that happened? What was the process in going into 4?
Like, mentally, I was in a different state. You know, like, for the past couple of months, like when we first started out, like I had 3 deaths in my family back to back. Like, it was like an uncle who died, and then I get a month to chill, and then the next month it was another uncle, then the next month it was an aunt, and then
my eyes really went to water. I don't know if it was like the fan or something. My eyes really went to water.
But now, and there was like a bunch of other things that was going on. Like, my friends was all going to jail. It was a lot of crazy things happening, and then I just literally, to be dead honest, I broke. You know what I'm saying? And I had this one moment where I actually had to go back to church. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I realized that I could not do this on my own. You know, like, for the longest I was saying, you know what? I'm just, like, as a dude, this is what we taught to do. We hold in all whatever we going through, and we just keep marching through it. You know what I'm saying? But I had that one moment where it's just like, you know what? You going through so much, dog. You
needed that outlet.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then after that, I think that kind of really helped me to go back to my whole writing process as far as, like, making music, and then just getting my soul right. You know what I'm saying? Because that, I think it kind of shines through with most of the songs, is that there's this hope element to some of these songs. It's like there's messages to almost all the songs on it without being preachy. You know what I'm saying? So, but that was the process. It was going back to, you know, me, going back, like, pressing that reset button, take away all the hype, take away whatever little accolades I had, and just strip it down back to me as a person, and why I originally started to make music, what I wanted from it, what I wanted to give to people. And, you know, I think I was at least able in my mind to do something like that. I originally came out in New York for this other show that was supposed to be at, I almost want to say SOBs or something like that, and it got canceled. And then my homie Shams at OK Player, he hit me up. He was like, yo, man, you know, we having this release party, you should swing through. And I was like, all right, cool. And then I get a text like 5 minutes later. He's like, yo, I got you on the list. And I was like, cool, thanks. And he's like, yo, I got you backstage pass. I was like, okay, thanks. And then he hit me up 5 minutes later. Was like, yo, get your bars ready because
you're performing.
And I was like, okay, maybe on some opening act type stuff. But then he's like, nah, you gonna be with the band. And I was like, stop playing.
This ain't even real.
So at that moment when he's like, you performing and you performing with the Roots, what came over you at that moment? Like, what were you nervous at the time or not?
I didn't believe it.
I was just gonna say, how did you feel as far as getting on stage with them and, like, leading up to, like, okay, we're bringing out our guy Add-2. He did a joint over. How did you feel? It
was really kind of like, I didn't believe it was gonna happen at all. Like, to be dead honest, the whole time I kept thinking like, oh yeah, something's gonna happen where I don't get on stage. You know what I'm saying?
We ran out of time, guys. We ran out of time. Sorry.
It's a full show, you know. It's like, how they gonna throw me on in the midst of, like, literally it was probably about an hour an hour or two from when it was supposed to happen. So, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the whole time I was sitting up there, I got nervous right when I think Black Thought said, "Yo, we got Add-2 from Chicago," and this was after he spit. And then I'm walking up on stage, and I kept thinking to myself, "Don't mess up, dude. Don't mess up.
Right.
If you mess up, that's it." You know what I'm saying? So, but it worked out. Like, everything.
What were
worked
their
out.
responses? What was their feedback to you?
Oh man, it was cool. Like we all sat backstage just eating chicken the whole time. Like I know that seems random and weird, but
So
you know,
stereotypical.
they
No,
was-
I was gonna say it actually seems like that would be happening.
yeah, like they sat back and they, you know, of course everybody was like, "Yo, man, that was dope, man. You ripped it and everything." And after that, it was like, "Yo, you want some chicken?" Yeah,
That joint was super genius, right?
super genius.
How was that experience? How was that session like?
Oh,
Did you
well,
guys all come in together or
Nah.
send it in?
Everybody sent in their verses at different times. If originally it was supposed to be like Currency, Big Crit, Yellow Wolf, Big Sean, me, Knowledge, Scooby, Actual Proof. I'm trying to name. I know I'm gonna mess it up, but he had named off everybody on Twitter and was like, "Yo, I need all these people."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then he's like, "Yo, just get y'all verses." And after that, once I seen that, I was like, "Man, dude, this is what I used to sit back in the room." And you know, while I'm writing my verses, I used to dream about, like, man, I wish they would put me on the song.
Right.
You know, and then after that, just as soon as we got the instrumental, just went to work.
Was there any anticipation to be like, all right, is my verse gonna be better
Yeah.
than theirs? Or
Yeah, that was the whole goal, man. Like I'm an MC at heart. Like I much respect to all of them because everybody did their thing.
Right.
That's as an MC. When you're in the cypher, you never want to be the bottom of the totem
Right.
pole. Like as long as you discussed at the top,
Right.
and that's cool. I ain't got to be the first.
you argued over, you
But
know what I'm
at
saying?
least I need to be argued over. So, but that's all I was gunning for. Was like I was a little worried though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was sitting back like I wonder what this person gonna say. I wonder who gonna say something crazier than that. So that had me a little worried.
Well, I got a prediction. You know how the Roots, every time they drop an album, they usually have one MC that's on like a couple of songs. Like you'll see like PD, you know, from that one album on a couple of joints. You got Truck North, all of those guys. I think that, you know, one of these go-rounds, because you know they always dropping a joint every couple of years. I think Add-2 is going to make it on one of those Roots albums,
I
man.
bet that.
That's a bet I'm going to make. That's a safe bet right there.
That's crazy. Well, hey, if you put it in the air, I can't.
I'm gonna say,
do
Red
sitting
just
there.
putting stuff into the air tonight.
Hey.
Psychic.
Shout me out when it happens, yo. In
Shout
the
out to my
verse,
guy
yo.
Red.
Like
He
the
said it
second-
first.
It's gonna be the second bar right there. So,
Red said it. What happened? Look, I can't rap. I can't rap.
you tried though. That's all that matters. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you got to give it a shot first. yo.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be dope. I'm just taking it one step at a time. I mean, just even with the look that we just got with Knife, you know what I'm saying, that when they just dropped that was out of nowhere. So.
You know my name. You know my name. I say I kill when I rap, still never slack. Nigga so ill, need a pill for the rap. High hand got gloves and you still can adapt. Y'all going downhill like Jill with a jack. Still going